Let me start the recording first. Yeah, I'm recording now. So let's start. So the first topic that we are going to cover today is going to be the IP routing. Okay. So IP routing, basically, if I ask you guys, what is IP routing? You can post your questions in chat. What is IP routing according to you? Whatever you have learned till now into your CCNA or previous information that you have, if I ask you what is IP routing, how you will answer that? Connecting one network to another network. Okay. What about you, Anjum? Okay, we have an answer from Syed that says connecting the devices from one network to another network. Yes. Anjum, what's your call on this? Sharing networks dynamically. Okay, so we have different sorts of this. Let me start now. So what is IP routing basically, guys? IP routing is three-way process actually. Basically, the big picture of IP routing that you might have heard and studied into your CCNA certification is that routing is to forward packets between two different networks. When you forward packets from one network to another network, that's called routing of the packets. Here, this IP routing that we are going to do here in CCNP routing and switching is going to be different from your whatever you have learned from CCNA. Whatever you have learned in CCNA is actually correct, but that's only up to the CCNA level. Now we have to dig deep into that, and we have to actually find out the internal things about IP routing in detail. So IP routing is a three-way process basically. The first process in IP routing that a router does when it forwards the packet is routing. Then second thing that a router does is switching, and the third step of IP routing is encapsulation. So IP routing is just not routing. Routing is just a part of your IP routing. So the process of forwarding packets from one network to another network goes through these three steps, which is routing, switching, and encapsulation. Okay, guys, if you have any question anytime, you can just post your questions on chat. I'll be keep on checking the chat box. And if you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. You can actually interrupt me anytime, any point of time to ask any number of doubts. Okay. So let me take an example to make this understand. Let's say I have a router. I have router number 1. Okay. And that router has 4 different interfaces. Let's say, for example, we have 4 different interfaces. We have FA0/1, fast Ethernet 0/1 interface. We have FA0/2. We have FA0/3, and I have FA0/4. Okay. Now you should know that each interface of a router should always be connected to a different network, right? You will never find out that 2 interfaces of a single router goes to the same network. Means the number of interfaces that you have on a router are going to be connected to different networks in your network. So different subnets basically. So here, if I'm using, let's say 10.1.1.0/24, and this interface FA0/2 is connected to 20.1.1.0/24. FA0/3 is connected to 30.1.1.0/24. This f/4 is connected to 40.1.1.0/1. Guys, if you have any CCNA question as well, you can actually ask me. Okay, if you don't get something about IP addressing, subnet mask, interface things, routes, any basic question also, any CCNA, any level question you can ask me. You can ask me NA to IE, any level question. Okay, whatever we are covering related to that should not be from outside of what we are discussing, because that will take our discussion somewhere else. So you can actually ask any question, any doubt, whatever I'm taking on the screen. If you have any question about that, you can just interrupt me anytime and you can ask it out. So I have 4 different interfaces: f/1, f/2, f/3, and f/4 on this router. And I have 3 and 4 different networks, 4 different subnets connected to these 4 different interfaces: 10 network to 0/1, 20 network to 0/2. I have 30 network to 0/3, and I have 40 network connected to FA0/4. Now, before I talk more on this router and connected subnets, let me tell you one thing. Whenever a packet comes to a router, guys, whenever a packet comes to a router, you know that what router does. Router always checks its routing table, right? Router always checks its routing table. This is actually same when you are actually standing on a road. You are just going through some road to some of your destination, and someone comes to you, just random person, and he comes to you and he asks you that, could you please tell me about, let's say, Silk Board Bangalore. Okay, this guy asks you that, could you please tell me about Silk Board Bangalore. What you do, guys, you check within millisecond, second, or like you take a very small amount of time, and you check millions and billions of entries that is available in your mind, and you match all of those entries which are available in your mind, you match with this Silk Board Bangalore. Correct? If they're asking, whatever they're asking, they are asking about some destination address. You check their destination that they are asking for, and you check the n number of entries that you have been into your life, different destination in your life that is kept into your memory. You're going to match all of those entries with this destination address that this guy is asking. Now, when you are checking those entries, that is something called, here in our routing, we call that process as route lookup process. Okay, when you are looking at the destination address of a packet, and when you're trying to find a matching route, the process that this guy is doing right now, this is matching all of its entries to this Silk Board Bangalore. If you find a matching route, guys, if you find a matching route, you tell him the direction. Okay, go north, or go east, or go south, or go west, wherever the basically west should be here. But so here, when you know that Silk Board is in your north direction, that guy came from west direction, and looking at all those entries which were available in your mind, you matched it with the Silk Board Bangalore. You find a matching entry, and you know that Silk Board exists in the direction of north. You told him, okay, you can go to north, and you will be reaching to Silk Board. What if you don't find any matching entry? What if you don't know about the destination that that guy is asking? You always say what? Sorry, no, I don't know about this, and you drop the request that is doing. This was just a real-time example that happens with us all the time. Here, whenever coming back to the router, whenever a packet comes to a router always checks the destination address of the packet, and then it maintains its routing table, and then it checks all the routes available into its routing table, and it tries to find the matching route, a valid entry, a valid matching route, which can actually use to forward the packet. Now, how the routing table is built? Routing table, you have things like, by default, let's say you have CCC, What does that mean? You have a connected route, right? So let's say I have a connected route 10.1.1.0/24 via FA0/0 interface. Remember one thing, you should note it down that routing table entry means a route entry into the table is made up of three things. A route table entry is made up of three things. What are those things? First is your network. Second is your subnet mask. Third thing is your next hop IP or exit interface. Each route, guys, each route, no matter it is learned via RIP, static, connected, EGP, EIGRP, OSPF, no matter how it is learned into the table, will always have three information: network, subnet mask, and next hop IP or exit interface. Network, we also call it sometimes the prefix, and subnet mask we call it prefix length. Okay, so now what happens is basically, if I take you from the basic itself, remember, whenever you have on this router, let's say I have three different interface, FA0/0. You went to this interface, you said interface FA0/0. How do you enable that interface? You say no shutdown, right? And you say no shutdown and you put an IP address. You say IP address is going to be 10.1.12.2 or whatever the IP address you want to put, 255.255.255.0. Right? This is what you do to make an interface above, and you put an IP address to make it functional for a network. Right? Now remember, what you need to write down one more note here, that a router makes a routing table entry. A router makes a routing table entry for each interface that is directly connected and assigned with an IP address. Router makes a route for each interface that is directly connected and assigned with an IP address, and which is into up and up state, and which is into up and up state. I'm talking about line protocol. It has to be a layer 2 up, which is line protocol. It has to be status up, which is the layer 1. Okay, so what do I mean by this? Here, what happens basically when you went to this interface F0/0, you said no shutdown, you made that interface up, you said enter IP address this. This router is going to have install a route, a connected route, because that interface is directly connected to this router. It is going to install a connected route, and to make an entry, we need three things. Again, coming to this: network, subnet mask, and next hop IP. Any routing table entry, any route in the routing table is made up of these three things. Now, to make here these three things, you require three things to make a route. So, network, prefix length means the subnet mask, and next hop IP. So, connected. Right now, you can see I'm using /24 255.255.255.0. This is going to be what? /24. Now, this all three information will be taken by this router from the way we have assigned the IP address on the interface. Okay, as I told you, again I'm repeating the same thing. Each router installs a route for its directly connected interface, which is in up state, and which is assigned with an IP address. So here we need three things: network, subnet mask, and next hop IP. Network information will be taken from this. When you put that IP address 10.1.12.2 and you put /24 mask, that means 255.255.255 tells me that these three are my network and this portion is my host. Right? You should be clear with the subnet mask. Subnet mask dictates what portion of an IP belongs to network and what portion of an IP address belongs to the host. So this subnet mask is telling that first 3 octet belong to the network and last octet belongs to the host. So when you have that connected route, I'm going to install it this way: 10.1.12.0. That's going to be my network address. Okay. So you just put the network bits and you make everything 0. That becomes your network address. So 10.1.12.0. Now, so this information is done. Now we need subnet mask information, which will be taken the way you put your subnet mask for the IP address. When we were assigning IP address to this interface, we put /24 subnet mask. That's what the router is going to take and install in the routing table. /24. Now we need next hop IP or we need exit interface. Right? This exit interface will be coming on which interface I put that IP address, on which interface I have assigned that IP address. On fast Ethernet 0/0. That's what gonna be the exit interface. This is what happens whenever you assign an IP address to an interface and you enable the interface. Router installs a route based on the information taken from the IP address information, the way you assign the IP address. Okay, guys. Now, next, let's say I said this FA0/1. You went interface FA0/1 and you said IP address is going to be 1.1.1.1 and 255.255.0.0 and no shutdown when you do. This will make another entry into the table and that entry will be C 1.1.1.1 and the way I have assigned the mask was 255.255.0.0. That means 8 plus 8, 16 bits. So I'm going to install 1.1.0.0 because first 2 are going to be my network because only 2 octet specify 255. So first 2 octets are going to be my network part and rest of the 2 octet are going to be my host part. So 1.1.0.0/16 this time. Previously I installed 24 because that was 255.255.255.0. Here I have only 16 bits into the subnet mask, so I have /16. Then this will be via FA0/1. This is how another entry will be made into the routing table of this route number 1. Did you understand, guys, this process? Everyone?
Yes, Pawan.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me, before I go to this I'm going to talk. Before I go to this and talk about routing, switching, and encapsulation. I'll take you to the command line and show you this happening on the command line. And before that, I'll tell you guys this IP routing, the topic that we are doing right now, it's going to be very, very important because I'm going to take you through the basics, very basics of what actually happens from the assignment of an IP address to the way a router takes decision of packet forwarding. So remember one thing, the process I'm going to discuss in IP routing, the decision that a router takes, which I'm going to take for you in IP routing process, is going to be same. It's going to be same whether you run RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, BGP. You run any routing protocol, the way router does IP routing is going to be same. RIP, EIGRP, OSPF, and these all routing protocols are just different ways of telling same information in different way, maybe to the router, right? So here, most important thing, no matter you are learning via RIP, via EIGRP, via OSPF, via BGP, you need these 3 information. Okay, so all these routing protocols we enable and run in our network just to get these 3 information so that we can make a route into our routing table. Okay, guys. So this is very important. So make good notes. This is something that's going to be very important. Make very good notes for the class. Okay, each and everything. Even the recording is happening, but don't just depend on the recording. Take a pen and paper and make good notes for your class. So let me take you to GNS right now, and I'll take you to GNS and connect two devices right now. I'll take the 3700 series just to show you that IP routing thing. People part 0 goes to part 0. Put the interface, start devices, update open console. Okay, guys. So here on router number 1, right now, if you check show IP interface brief on R1, I have few interfaces, part 0/0, serial 0/0, 0/1, serial 0/1. So you can see all the interfaces are right now administrative down. In status, you can see administrative down, which means no shutdown command is required. And when layer 1 is down, this tells your status tells you layer 1, and protocol tells you layer 2. So when the layer 1 is down, layer 2 cannot be up because layer 1 itself is down. So here, when there is no interface right now assigned with an IP address, and there is no interface that is up into the up state, if you check your routing table, which is the command show IP route, when you put show IP route, right now you can see there is no routing table entry available into R1 because there is no interface assigned with an IP address. So go to router number 2, check show IP interface brief. There's no interface because I have recently just in front of you, I've taken this topology to router topology, which doesn't have any other configuration. So I'll quickly assign the IP address. I'm going to take a subnet between R1 and R2, which is going to be 10.1.12.0/24. Okay, this will be the subnet between R1 and R2. So 10.1.12.1, I'm going to put on R1 F/0/0 interface, and 10.1.12.2, I'm going to put on R2's face of F/0/0. So I'll quickly put the IP address. Okay. Now on R1, right now, if you check show IP interface brief, you have an interface on R1, fast Ethernet 0/0, that is assigned with an IP address of 10.1.12.1, and status is admission is down, protocol is down. Right now, if you check show IP route, there is still no route into the routing table, right? Because that interface has to be enabled first. I have to go to the interface and I have to type the command called no shutdown. So right now, if you again go to this R1, and to see that thing happening into the detail, what the one which I was talking on this slide, is all thing to see this in detail. There's a debug called debug IP routing. Note it down. This debug IP routing command, this debug will show you the changes, any change that is happening with the routing table. So something going into the routing table, something going out of the routing table, and something getting deleted, something getting added to the table, then this command will show you, this debug will show you the output of that. Okay, so to see this here, I'll go to global configuration mode again, and I'll go to interface past Ethernet 0/0, and I'll say no shutdown. So as soon as you hit no shutdown, what is going to happen on R1? You can see that the debug output is coming right now, and you can see that interface is going up. And when that interface goes up, I'm adding a route 10.1.12.0/24, okay, via 0.0.0.0 because it is directly connected. So there should be no next hop IP with the connected metric of AD value of 0 and metric value of 0, because connected always has AD value and metric parameters as 0 and 0, which we will talk about later on, when is AD used, when is metric used. So network redistribution, this is telling you that something is getting added. I'm doing an addition of 10.1.12.0/24, and what I'm doing, this is via fast Ethernet 0/0 added to the routing table. So these debugs are going to be really fun to learn. Using these debugs, you can actually see the detail behind the command line, what the device is doing actually. So different debugs we are going to use to see the output. So as I told you, we need three information: network, network mask, and the exit interface. So we have network 10.1.12.0, we have subnet mask /24, and we have exit interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Guys, if you check this, these three information that you have right now, the network, mask, and the interface, which is fast Ethernet 0/0 in this case, are taken from where? If you check do show run interface fast Ethernet 0/0. Okay, this command show run interface fast Ethernet 0/0 is to see the running configuration, means whatever configuration I have made under this fast Ethernet 0/0 interface, this command will show you that. So when you hit enter, you can see when I was assigning an IP address, I went to the interface fast Ethernet 0/0 mode, and I said IP address, I said 10.1.12.1. Okay, I said 255.255.255.0. So you can see the first three octet was 255, and the last fourth octet was 0. That means first three octet in this IP address belong to the network, and last octet belong to the host, which you should be clear with. That's the IP addressing concept from CCNA. So when you have 10.1.12.0/24, that is coming from where? The way you have put your IP address. Now, if you check show IP route, enter, what you are going to see is a routing table entry, a C route, which says that there is a network called 10.1.12.0, which is directly connected to me on fast Ethernet 0/0. Three things, guys. Again, if you check this, I told you network, which is prefix, network or prefix, subnet mask, which is prefix length, and the next of IP or the exit interface. So do we have the same three information? We have network information 10.1.12.0, we have the subnet mask, which is /24, and we have the exit interface information. Right? It is same like when you are telling someone that you know about Silk Board. This is the destination name actually. You know about Silk Board. You should actually tell him that which direction that guy should move, either your right side or your left side, or north, east, means whatever the directions are. You should actually tell him the correct destination direction. Now, if I go to R1 and if I create a loopback interface, loopback 0, and if I say IP address 1.1.1.1, 255.255.255.255. Now, if I will hit enter here, loopback interface are by default up, guys, right? So we don't need to put what? That no shutdown command here. Loopback interfaces are by default up. So when I'm going to put IP address 1.1.1.1, and this time you can see IP address I'm assigning with a /32 mask, right? So this time it is going to add a route via loopback 0 interface as 1.1.1.1/32, because I'm mentioning my subnet mask is /32. That's what you can see in the debug output, adding 1.1.1.1/32 via same 000 via myself, and I'm adding to the routing table. Now, if you check do show IP route command again, this will show you that there is another network connected to loopback 0 interface 1.1.1.1, and it is /32 network. Guys, are you guys clear with this? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, Anjum, Janardhanan, Syed, Ali, any question?
Yes, Pramod.
No.
So I'll go to R2 now and do the same. Config T interface use /0 IP address 10.1.1.2 /24 no shut interface loopback 0 IP address 2.2.2.2 /24. So basically, I just have a loopback interface on R1 1.1.1/32 we have, and I also have loopback interface on R2 which is 2.2.2.2/32. Okay.
I think it's not 32.
Yes, this is /24, I think. So I'll put 255. That will replace my configuration. So if you check now, do show IP route on R2. R2 is also going to have two routes. One is /24 with 10.1.12 network connected on fast Ethernet /0 interface, and another one is the loopback interface, which is 2.2.2.2 with the /32 mask now. Okay, now so this is something that you should understand. The first thing in IP routing. Okay, now let's come back to our slide and let's dig deep into a little bit more into the IP routing process. I'll just so we have this routing process. Now everyone should be clear, guys. Everyone, this is my question to everyone, guys. Type in chat based on this diagram that you see on the screen. This router, which has 4 different interfaces connected to different networks. Guys, everyone, please post in chat box how the routing table of R1 would be. Everyone, please type in your chat box. I want you to tell me how the routing table would be of this router based on the information that you see on the screen. This router is connected. See, I've shown you already on the command line that whenever you assign an IP address on the interface, that's how the routing is installed in the table. So everyone, Ali, Syed, Anjum, and Janardhanan, everyone, please post your answers on the chat box. Yes, Anjum, you are doing right. What about Ali? Ali, you there?
Yeah.
Yes, so you guys actually got the concept. Everyone is correct. Janardhan, you also post your. Yes, Janardhan, are you there? Hello, Janardhan, can you hear me? Okay. Yes. So yeah, that's enough, guys. Actually, I just wanted to check did you get the concept or not. So everyone is correct. Basically, whatever you are putting on chat screen is fine. That's what it's gonna be. So we know now that this router, based on this information available on the screen, is going to install 4 different routes. Okay, C, 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 and C. First route is going to be 10.1.1.0/24. Second route is going to be 20.1.1.0/24. This is going to be via 0/1, via 0/2. This is going to be via FA 0/3, and that's going to be via FA 0/4. Right, this is how the routing table of this R1 would be after putting all those routes into the table. Now, guys, as I told you that whenever a packet comes to this router, let's say a packet is coming, there's a packet coming to this R1, router number 1, and packet has a source IP address of 20.1.1.100, and packet have a destination IP address of 10.1.1.52. Guys, based on this information, everyone, could you please tell me which interface this packet is going to arrive on R1? Means for this packet, what interface is going to be the incoming interface? Okay, so Anjum Bukhari says it's going to be FA/2. Jonathan says FA/2. Ali and Sayed, what's your call?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, what will be the incoming interface for this packet on R1? Means which interface the packet is going to arrive?
Well, basically, there are 2 interfaces, I think. One is FA0/2 and FA0/1.
Yeah, so look at the source and look at the destination. Based on that, you need to decide. So based on the source 20.1.1.100, you can see 20.1.1.100 is connected to FA/2 interface. So that means when the packet is coming from 20.1.1.100, that packet would definitely be arrive on FA/2. Ali, did you understand?
Hello?
Yes, Ali, did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was telling you. So the FA/2, where the packet is arriving, is called as ingress interface. We call it ingress interface. Now we have, when packet arrives, now we need to forward the packet to the destination of 10.1.1.52. This router is going to match all of these routes that are available into the router table and match them with the destination IP address of the packet one by one. So this is the process we call route lookup process, when a router matches all of the routes into the table to the destination IP address of the packet. This process is called route lookup process. Now, guys, based on this 4 information, can you please tell me what would be the outgoing interface? Means what will be the interface that packet should be forwarded out?
FA0/1?
Yes, perfect. The answer is FA0/1, because you can see the destination IP address is 10.1.1.52, and that is matching to 10.1.1.52, the first route in the table, which is via FA0/1. That means this router is going to receive the packet on this interface, FA0/2 interface, and that packet would be forwarded out of FA0/1 interface, which is going to be my, we call it egress interface, okay, or the outgoing interface for the packet. Okay, did you understand, everyone? So when the packet, this process, now when I was doing actually the matches from this destination IP address to the all the routes available into the table, basically what we were trying to find out from the routing table by doing this matches to the routing table was the direction, the correct direction we were trying to find out, and the direction will be specified with what? Exit interface, right? So until you have exit interface, guys, if this router by mistake forward this packet on FA0/4, will the packet ever reach to 10.1.1.52? Never. If this router forwards the packet on FA0/3, never. That packet should be forwarded out of FA0/1 interface, because that's what the interface is, which is going towards the direction of 10.1.1. something. There he can find out his network of 10.1. It is just like a crossroad, guys. Take an example. You are standing on a crossroad, and let's say this is New York, this is Dubai, this is my Tamil Nadu, and this is what we have is Bangalore. So let's say this is my north, this is south, this is east. Just for example, I'm taking so that it becomes very clear to you. So when you have something like this, now if someone, let's say someone is coming to you, you were standing here, and someone came to you in this from this direction, and he was coming from New York. Okay, the source he was coming from was New York, and the destination he was trying to go was Bangalore. Okay, so that means that guy will be arriving on this direction, not right. And based on the destination that he's trying to reach, you checked, okay, Bangalore is in west direction. You will forward that guy into the west direction so that he can reach to Bangalore. You will never forward him to east or south, because those direction doesn't go to Bangalore. Same thing. When a packet comes with a destination address of 10.1.52, you should forward the packet where this network is connected, which is FA0/1 that goes to 10.1.1.0/1. Up to this point, everyone with me, guys? Any question if you have?
No problem.
So this process is called what? Routing. The process of doing the route lookup process, okay, the process of doing the route lookup process by matching the destination IP address with all the routing entries available in the router table and finding out the correct exit interface is called the routing process. Make notes of it. Write down. Routing is to do the route lookup process. So do you understand the importance of finding the right exit interface? Because if by mistake the device forwards the packet into wrong direction, means on wrong interface, wrong exit interface, the packet is never going to reach to its destination. Packet will just loop in the network. So the routing process in the IP routing is to find out your exit interface. So in each entry here, what is important? Most important part is 0/2, 0/3, 0/3, because that is something that is telling me that which interface the packet should be forwarded. Yes. What is this sound coming, guys? Someone is snoring or what? Sayed? Ali? What is this? Some weird sound is coming, guys.
Yes, Pawan. I think it's Ali's.
Yes. It seems like someone is snoring or something. Ali, are you sleeping?
No, I'm taking note of this.
Okay. Don't sleep, guys. That's what I'm. That's why I always
No, I'm
talk to you.
feeling sleepy. That's why I'm taking some coffee to stir it.
Okay. So this is the first process in that IP routing, which is the routing. Now the next thing is going to be your switching, and this is, remember, this is the switching which is not you learn into your CCNA, the layer 2 switching. Okay, the device switch which does switching between different computers and devices. That's not that switching. This is layer 3 switching that happens internal to the router itself. So what switching process is actually forwarding packets, moving packets from one interface to another interface is called switching process. Guys, as you remember, this was my ingress interface, means the packet was arriving on this interface F/2. Now, based on my exit interface, I came to know that packet should be forwarded out of F/1 interface, right? When the packet should be forwarded out of F/1, while router was taking this decision of routing, the packet was on which interface? F/2. Now, when router finds out that this should be forwarded out of F/1, the router should take the packet from this interface and push it to which interface? It has to move it to F/1 interface. So moving a packet from the incoming interface to the outgoing interface means from ingress interface to outgoing egress interface is called switching process. Okay, that's what plays a very important role when you actually send multiple packets to the same destination, because this is for one packet. What if I'm sending 1,000 packets? So how this router can switch the packets from this interface to this interface, how fast that router can switch, that provides you a lot of speed. There will be different process to do the same switching, which is going to be process switching, path switching, and your stack. Cisco Express forward. So switching is to forward or to move. Okay, or in other words, I can say or forwarding packets from ingress to egress. Switching technologies that we have is process switching. I'll show you all the switching process later on. Fast switching. And we have this. Did you guys understand this? Switching. Moving packet from ingress to egress interface is the switching process. Now, so doing the layer to rewrite of the packet, like changing the old source and destination. Let me explain this to you. You know, guys, that whenever you have a network, let's say R1 is connected to R2, and that R2 is connected to R3, and there we have this computer, and here we have this. Let's say 10.1.1.1, and that is my 20.1.1.1. Let's say the MAC address of this PC is AA, here is BB, here is CC, DD, here is EE, here is 11, here is 22, and here is 33. These are the MAC address of this device. Now, when this PC1 wants to communicate to PC2, the source IP is going to be what? 10.1.1.1, and destination IP is going to be 20.1.1.1. The source MAC will be what, guys? AA, and destination MAC will be what? 33. Is it? The destination MAC address is going to be BB here, not the 33. It's going to be BB. Yes, Anjum, you want me to repeat the switching part? The switching part was when you receive a packet.
No, sir, not the switching technologies that you spoke about, fast switching. And
This thing I'll talk, okay? This is different section, I'll cover about them. This is a major topic, okay? It's a big topic.
Okay.
That we will cover later on.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, Janardhan, you can do that, no problem.
Can you go back to the text file? I am taking a note. Okay.
Is notepad you're asking?
Yeah. You close your sharing. Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so now what encapsulation is here, I was talking on this slide. Let Janardhan come. He had some issues with his computer, so he's just restarting his computer. Okay, guys. So we'll take a 5-minute break. Okay, then we will come back.
All right.
Hello? Yes, hi everyone. Let's start again. Yes, Janardhan, now you can record. So the layer to rewrite process was to change the. So here, what I was saying is, when this PC1 wants to communicate to PC2 here, the IP will be 10.1.1.1, destination IP will be 20.1.1.1, and source MAC will be AA, and destination MAC is going to be BP, which is the center. Now, when the packet comes on this router, packet is forwarded out of this interface. Now, what will be the IP, source and destination IP of that packet when packet is leaving this router number 1? Remember, source and destination IP remains same throughout the communication. Source and destination IP address are never going to be changed. Yes, assume true. So this will remain same. So source IP, destination IP will remain same. But what is going to change is the source MAC and the destination MAC, right? You should be clear with this. We are going to remove this AA and put it CC as a source MAC address for the local communication between R1 and R2. And the remote MAC address means the destination MAC address is going to be DD here. Now packet comes to R2. When packet will be forwarded to R3 on this interface, the source MAC will be changed, destination MAC will be changed, replaced with EEN11. When packet leaves on this interface, source will be 22, and the destination MAC will be 33. Right? So this is changing old source MAC address and old destination MAC address information, replacing it with the new one. We call it encapsulation process. This is something that we call layer 2 rewrite, which is changing the old layer 2 information, replacing it with the new information. Now you should also understand, let's say I have a router which connects to the serial 0/0 interface and then fast Ethernet 0/0 interface. So let's say packet is arriving on this interface and packet should be forwarded out of F0/0. When packet is arriving on serial 0/0 interface, the packet will have encapsulation type, means the header and tailor of PPP or SDLC, because these are the two point-to-point protocols that are going to work on the serial connection by default. So SDLC, let's say if I'm using PPP. Now that packet with encapsulation type of PPP or SDLC, can it be forwarded on a fast Ethernet 0/0 interface where you use encapsulation type ARPA? Never, right? We have to remove this SDLC header and tailor or PPP header and tailor, and we have to put what? Ethernet header and tailor. Then only that packet will be able to travel on this fast Ethernet segment. This changing layer 2, that's why I mentioned here, changing the old encapsulation type to the new one is also called as encapsulation.
Sir, can you repeat this part, please?
Yeah. So what I was saying is here, we have a router that connects to another router, and we have 10.1.12.0 subnet between them. And this is my router number 1, and we have a loopback here 2.2.2.2, and that is actually connected to some Ethernet segment. We take a device over here. This is my 2.2.2.2, which is connected on fast Ethernet 0/0 interface, and this is my serial 0/0 interface. This is my serial 0/0 interface. Let's say this R1 makes a ping to 2.2.2.2. So the packet, when packet is going to arrive on serial 0/0, this will have what type of layer 2 header and tailor? This will have either SDLC or PPP, because these are the two protocols that are going to work on serial connections, the point-to-point connections. That packet cannot be forwarded on F/0/0. The egress interface from the routing table, we are going to find out that 2.2.2 is connected to my F/0/0 interface. Before forwarding the packet on this interface, we have to change the encapsulation type, which is SDLC and PPP, and we have to change to what? ARPA. Because in Ethernet, the encapsulation type we use is ARPA. Let me show this. If you go to R1 or any other device, if you say show interface F/0/0, the encapsulation type on an Ethernet interface we use is ARPA. Okay, and let me check if we can find out on serial. Right now, if you check serial 0/0 interface, what encapsulation type you are using by default? HDLC. This is for point-to-point. So, okay, so if a packet is arriving on serial 0/0, that will be arriving with encapsulation type of SDLC. Let's say now that packet should be routed out of FA0/0 interface in this case, which is supporting encapsulation ARPA. So before you forward packet from serial 0/0 to FA0/0, you should change this encapsulation type from PPP or SDLC to ARPA, so that packet can travel. This is what also the encapsulation process is. Did you get it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so up to this point, guys, this is what IP routing is. Up to this point, is everyone with me? Any question, any doubt? If you have, you can just put those questions to me.
What is this loopback port and address in a router?
Who's this actually? Janardana?
Ali.
Ali. Yes, Ali. So you didn't do this in your CCNA. This loopback interface is just a logical interface, a virtual interface, which doesn't exist physically. If I go to the command line right now, see, if I go to R1 and when you put this command, show IP interface brief, this command is to check what are the interface are available on this router number 1, right? So when you have fast Ethernet 0/0, this is an interface which will be physically available on the device. Means you can actually plug in the cable on that interface. Serial 0/0, fast Ethernet 0/1, and serial 0/1. These all 4 interface are the physical interface that you have on the device physically. Okay. But this loopback 0 interfaces are used for testing purpose to simulate different networks that we are going to use. And this is logical interface, logical virtual interface, which does not exist physically.
Do we use this in our production network?
Yeah, production environment you use for different purpose, like forming BGP peer relationship or choosing the router ID. So different type of requirement that you can have to create this loopback. But there is actually there is no connectivity to this loopback because it's not a physical interface. Basically.
Thank you.
So if you go to interface and say loopback, if you hit question mark, you can create millions of loopback interface on your device. All are going to be virtual interface. Okay, guys. Now, so here, if I go to R1 now become active, everyone, because I'm going to ask you a few things here. If you check show IP route, right now I have 2 routes. One is 11111/32. One is 10.1.12.0/24. If I try to ping, guys, 10.1.12.2, which is R2, will I be able to ping it? Just tell me yes or no.
No.
Okay, Janardhan says yes. Who says no?
Sayed.
Yeah. Okay. Sayed, why no?
Because you have not defined the 2 route here. Right?
Okay. 10.1.12.2. R1 doesn't have a matching route for it, right?
Yeah. It's not there in the routing table.
Okay. Now, what about Ali and Anjum?
So can you repeat the question?
The question is right now, if you see on the screen right now on R1, I'm trying to make a ping from R1 to 10.1.12.2. So the question was, will it be a success or it will fail?
It will go through because it's the directly connected network.
Yeah, it will ping because it is directly connected to.
Yeah. So Syed has some
zero.
strong concepts here because this is gonna work here.
Sorry, I did not check that it's 12 here. The C. I thought it's 10.
Yeah. So here you can see that C 10.1.12.0 is there, and that packet is routed. Now, to see this in detail, you can write down a debug IP packet detail. Write down this debug, guys. This debug IP packet detail gives you detail about debug for IP packets. All the IP packets debug will be shown to you on the screen on your console. So write down debug IP packet detail. I want to see the detailed information about the IP packet flowing between those devices. When you put that, and now if you say 10.1.12.2, this will tell you. And if I do a repeat of 1, okay, by default, ping sends how many packets? By default, ping sends 5
4.
packets. 5 packets. You can see here, sending 5 packets, and that's going to be 100 byte of information. And pinging to this timeout is 2 seconds by default. So I'm making a repeat of 1. That means I'm going to send only 1 single packet. If I hit enter, this command will show you that how the packet was routed and which interface the packet was routed and all of this. So I got that success. You can see that this mark says that I got that success. Going from source of 10.1.12.1, automatically this router has picked up a source, because whenever you make a ping from any device, by default the source will be the exit interface. Okay, by default the source will be the exit interface. The packet is routed on which interface? 0/0. This router had 2 route. One was via loopback 0, one was via fast Ethernet 0/0. And that network 10.1.12.2, the destination of 10.1.12.2 was actually reachable via fast Ethernet 0/0. That's what I have taken, and I routed the packet via FIB. Okay, FIB stands for forwarding information base. If you don't have any idea about it, don't worry. In Ceph, we are going to cover. This is something called Ceph table. So right now, you just consider that this is routed via a routing table. So FIB and RIB, 2 things you can see on the screen. FIB is forwarding information base, and RIB is your routing information base. RIB is nothing but your routing table, and FIB is nothing but your Ceph table. So where the packet was routed, FP 0/0, right? This was able to route the packet. Now, everyone, if I try to ping 10.1.12.3, will the packet be routed, guys?
Yes.
Yes, everyone. Will I be able to route the packet? Yes, Janardhan says yes. Anjum, Syed,
Yes.
Ali.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not.
Okay, so I will be able to route the packet here, but I will not
What
get
is
the
the-
reply.
What is the interface? The 10.3 is not defined, right?
Which one?
3. We have no device.
No.
No.
Here in the topology we have only the router number 1 and router number 2, which has 10.1.12.1 here, 10.1.12.2. I'm trying to make communication from 1 to 2. There's no device that has an IP address of 3. So right now what is going to happen, I will not get the successful ping for this. Remember, guys, I will not get the successful ping for this, but here I am going to route this packet, because routing is the routing table entry is still available in the table. The ping of bit count of 1. If you check it, what it says,
0%.
the packet was routed via RIP, right? Success rate was 0% because I was not able to send it because there was no response coming back. But remember, from one end, I was able to route it via RIP. Routed via RIP means what? I had a matching entry in my table, but there was no device actually assigned with this IP address, so there was no one sitting on that segment to reply.
So you said route RIB is the routing table. What is FIB?
CEF table, CEF, Cisco Express Forwarding Table,
Okay.
which we will talk later on. What is the difference between FIB and ZIP? We'll talk to that later. Okay, guys. Now, so packet is being routed, right? All the packets are being routed. What if I try to ping 10.1. Now again, I'll show you the routing table so that you don't get confused. Then if I try to ping 13.2, guys, can I reach there? Guys, will this packet be routed?
No.
Yes, everyone. Janardhan? Anju?
No, sir.
Do we have this routing table?
So, do we have a matching route into the routing table? The answer is no. If you try to ping this address, the router is going to tell that packet is unroutable. Okay, so it doesn't have a matching entry here. What if I go to my interface FH/0 and say IP address 10.1.12.1/26 rest of the people. What I did, I just went to my interface FH/0, this interface, and previously I put the summon mask of /24, and this time I'm putting what /16. We check the route is going to be installed as /16. Guys, if I try to ping the same address 10.1.13.2, will I be able to route the packet or not? Do I have a matching route for this IP address? Now,
No, because the routing table is still the same as previous one.
who is it actually? I don't know.
Ali.
Okay. Yes, Anjum, what about you? What's your call? Will I be able to route this packet now?
I think yes, you can. Sayyid.
Okay, Sayyid. What about Anjum?
I don't think so.
Okay. Here, the packet will be routed. To hit enter. There's no one who is going to respond. Actually, I stopped.
Because there is no device. Because there is no device.
So if I say debug IP packet detail again, so there is no device actually assigned with this IP address, but the packet will be routed out of FH/0 interface. Remember, the routing will happen. We check it by making the ping again. If you check, the packet is going to be routed via RIB, routed via RIB, routed via RIB, and all 5 packets are going to be routed via RIB. Clear?
Because the first 2 octets are matching.
First 2 octets are matching. Right now, if you check, the encapsulation failed is coming. This is the encapsulation process that is needed, but because there is no MAC address learned for 10.1.13.2, so I'm not going to put any MAC address for it. Now, some of you are clear with this, some of you are not clear. So let me tell you one thing here, guys. Why I made that change to the interface. Previously, I was not able to route the packet, but when I changed the interface summon mask as /16, I was able to route the packet. You need to understand one thing here. Whenever router matches the routing table entries with the destination IP address of a packet, router, if you have, let's say 1.1.1.1/32, and let's say the packet comes to me was having a destination address of 1.1.1.1. Guys, if I have a route installed in my routing table, everyone please listen to me carefully. When I'm installing a route into my routing table as /32, that means I will match all 4 octet with the destination IP address to consider this route as valid. If any of the octet is not matching with the destination IP address, this route entry is not valid. Now, let's say my destination is 1.1.1.1, and I have a route 1.1.1.2/32. Is it a valid route for this destination? The answer is no, because the summon mask that I have installed is /32, which tells me that match all 32 bits with the destination IP address. So what router does is, router is going to convert all of these decimal values into binary and the destination IP address into binary. Then it's going to match. Is all 32 bits are matching? So 32 bits will not match because we have 2 here and we have 1 here. This is not a valid route. But in case I have 1.1.1.0/24, this route becomes a valid route for this destination. Why? Because this 24 tells that I'm going to match only first 3 octet with the destination IP address. That means first is matching. Yes, 1, 1, 1. All first 3 octets are matching. So this route becomes a valid. Now, if I have a destination of 1.1.2.1, then this route also becomes invalid, right? Then 1.1.0.0 if you have class 16, then this route becomes valid for this, because this says I'm only going to, based on the /16, this says I'm only going to match first 2 octet with the destination IP address, and which is actually matching in this case, 1, 1. So this becomes valid. So based on what subnet mask you have installed with your routing entry into the routing table, that's how the router is going to match. The router is going to do the route lookup process for the destination IP. Then Janardhan, what's the question? 1.1.1.1/32. What is right destination? What do you mean by right destination? Here, the right destination will be the first one. Okay. Yes, Janardhan.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yep. You said right 1.1.1/CADR32 will not have this destination will not work, right? So what kind of destination which work for this 32 for the all 8 octets?
Yeah, it will work only for a packet which has destination IP address of this 1111.
So it's not going to be possible, right? Then
no, if you have a packet which is trying to reach a destination address of 1.1.1.1, then this entry is valid.
Okay.
Because it's going to match all 4 octet with the destination IP address, which is matching in this, right? So you don't need to consider 32 or 24, 16 or whatever. Whatever the fixed length is, whatever the subnet mask is, that's what the router is going to match. Okay. This is very important for you to understand. So you can make a note on this. Router does the route lookup process. Route lookup process is that matching thing. Destination IP address to the routing table entries. When we match, that is called route lookup. Router does the route lookup process based on what subnet mask or fixed length. Hello, guys.
Yeah, I think for one, Janardhan was saying that the source IP address and the destination IP address are the same. So that way he was trying to understand that.
Wait, guys. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, yes, Pawan.
Actually, my system is sort of not able to do something. Yes. Who was the last guy? Anjum? It was you or
It was Sayed, yeah.
Sayed?
I believe
Yeah, Sayed, tell me.
the question that Janardhan was having was the source IP address and the destination IP address is the same. It's 1111 for source and also for destination. So that way he
No,
was, I think.
no. How can it be? Source and destination. How can it be same? Then where
That's
to
the
do
question.
routing?
That was the question I think for Janardhan. Janardhan, am I right?
No, no, no. He was talking about for which packet this entry will be valid.
Yes.
Right, Janata?
Yes, correct, Pavan.
Yes, yes. The source and destination are not going to be same. You are making a ping from you to your side. That's not going to be why you need a router to route and do that. Okay, so you can make a note of it. So, for example, if you have /32 route, all 32 bits should be matched with the destination IP. So now, did you understand why we were able to route this packet later on? Because now I have /16. /16 means what? I'm only going to match 10 in the first octet, 1 in the second octet, which is matching. Right? I don't care about the last two octet. Okay, there is last two octet, whatever they are, 00. I'm just going to forward the packet on this app. Let's do it. Good. So up to this point, guys, are you clear? And this is what the IP routing is. If you have any question, any doubt, you can tell me. Whatever we have done today. Yes, guys. Any question?
No, no, sorry, no, Pawan.
Okay. Why, Janardhan? What happened? Notepad. Want to copy paste? Are you making notes on laptop or what? Yeah. So I'll do that. I'll just close it and save it. And I'll send it to you on mail. Okay, to everyone.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
So let's now do static routing. So basically, this static routing, the routing that you can actually do, a few types. Routing in either you can do static or you can do dynamic. So in dynamic routing, we use some routing protocols, and static we use the manual routing. So here, static is like you can use the normal static, and you can use default static default. In dynamic protocols, we have either IGPs or we can use the EGP. In IGP, we can have different categories like distance vector or advanced distance vector, and we can have link state routing protocols. In EGP, we have path vector protocols. So under distance vector, we have RIP. Under advanced distance vector, we are going to study about EIGRP. And the link state, we are going to learn about OSPF, and path vector, we are going to learn about each. Okay, make a note of it. RIP, IGP stands for Interior Gateway Protocol, EGP Exterior Gateway Protocol, RIP Routing Information Protocol, EIGRP Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol, OSPF Open Shortcut Path First, and BGP Border Gateway Protocol. So you must be familiar with this EIGRP, OSPF, RIP, and all already from your CCNA classes. I'll take you into more depth of these protocols. Okay, you can see here static means what? Static means always the manual, when you manually define the routing, and here this is going to be something that is dynamically, it's going to happen, like automatically it's going to happen. You just need to enable the routing protocols process, and they are going to deal with the routing. Done, everyone, today? So in that static routing, we'll start with static routing. And we need now the routing here. If I take you to the same two router topology again. If we take one more, so I'll take three routers, R1, R2, and C. I'll take 10.1.12.0 subnet between R1 and R2. I'll take 23.0 between R2 and R3. And then I'll create a loopback on 111 on route number 1. Create a loopback on R2 and create a loopback on R3. So let me quickly put the IP addresses on all these devices. So IP addressing is done right now. You can see by default routers only knows about the directly connected networks, right? This R1 right now, how many subnets I'm using in this topology? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But how many subnets that R1 will be knowing right now? R1 will know about 111 and 10.1.12, which is connected to loopback 0 and partitioner 0. R1 will have no idea where 2.2.2 network exists, where 10.1.23 network is existing, and where is 3.3.3 network. So if you check on show IP route on route number 1, R2 only knows about 2 directly connected subnets, right? What about R2? R2 will know about 222, 10.1.12, and 10.1.23 because these are the 3 subnets which are directly connected to R2 on 3 of its different interfaces. So you can see we have 3 routes going to those 3 networks, and R3 will have information about this network and this network. Do show IP route, enter. We have information about 333 and 10.1.23. So basically, why we need routing on these devices right now? Because R1 cannot reach 2.2.2.2. If I enable debug IP routing, remember, whenever you don't have a route, first of all, you need to have a route to reach the network. In case you don't have a route in the routing table, the ping communication or any communication never going to happen. To check 2.2.2.2, this will tell me that packet is unroutable. I have to actually say debug IP. Detail, not this debug. So if I do ping again, you will be able to see that packet is unroutable because there is no route for 2.2.2.2 network, right? If I try to ping 10.1.23, 10.1.23.3, which is R3, that will also be unroutable. You can see unroutable. If I try to ping 3333, which is a loopback on R3, that will also be unroutable because right now, if you try to ping 10.1.12.2, this will be routable because it is directly connected to me. I have a route. You can see I'm getting replies from R2. stop the debug. So if you check show IP route, I only know about these two networks. If I try to ping any other network, I will not be able to. Okay, so here we need some type of routing so that these routers can reach the networks which are not only directly connected, but to the networks which are not directly connected. Okay, so in this topology, R1 should be able to reach to 10.123 and 333 for the complete reachability. If you want to provide the complete reachability between R1, R2, and R3, you have to put right now how many subnets, how many networks are there right now connected in this topology is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So R1 already knows about two of them. One is loopback, one is the fast signal zero interface, which is connected to 10.1.12.0 subnet. Now we need to tell R1 the path to reach 2222 network, 10.1.23 and 333. So three networks are there that R1 should know in case you want to provide complete reachability in this network. R2 already knows about 1, 2, 3. R2 should know about 111 and 333. R3 should know about 222, 10.1.12 and 111. Means every router should know about all the networks which are not directly connected if you want to have complete reachability in this topology. Okay, so we will be continuing static route tomorrow, the configuration part, and we'll discuss many things in static routing using next hop IP and your exit interface. So different things that you can do with static routing. So static routing is nothing but the manual routing, right? We need three things, guys. I've already told you that to make a routing entry into your table, we need three things. What are the three things? Those three things are the network, the subnet mask, and next hop IP or exit interface.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? So those things, if I provide manually means if I manually go to R1 and say hello R1, if I go to R1, I say hello R1, if you want to go to 2.2.2 network /24, go to your FA0/0 interface. If I forward packet to FA0/0, packet goes to R2, and that's my right direction. R2 will handle it because R2 already knows about the destination, which is directly connected. If I go to R3, I say hello R3, if you want to reach 11111, go to R2, he'll take you there. Okay, so you can either define your next hop IP address, your neighbor's IP address, that's my next hop IP, or you can define the exit interface. So when you manually do it, manually tell the path to reach a destination network, that is called static routing. Okay, when you don't tell the path manually, you leave it to the routing protocols. That's what the dynamic routing does, the dynamic routing protocol does. So this is it for today, guys. This much we will be doing today. I'll end up the session. So if you have, guys, any question, if you have for today's session in IP routing or anything, you can just post your question on chat, and you can also talk to me if you want. And you have my email. You can put email at any time. I'll be happy to reply you guys. So let me know if you have any question. Sayed, Janardhan, Ali, everyone, please acknowledge.
No problem.
No, nothing.
Okay, guys. So thank you so much for joining. I'll continue the session tomorrow. So I'll continue tomorrow sharp 6. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be
Guys, can we make it a little bit early, like 5:30, if everyone is fine?
Check with Ali. Ali.
I have to wake up. I have to wake up at 2:30 then.
Okay. Okay, then fine. We'll meet at 6 o'clock. Okay. Anjum, are you okay with the timings and all?
Yes, sir. I'm fine.
Okay, Anjum. So any question, Anjum? Yeah.
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too,
Thank
sir.
you.
Bye.
Come on.